So I just beat Far Cry 6, and it was good. After spending 50 or so hours exploring the island of Yara, and ruthlessly murdering everybody with my petting zoo, Far Cry 6 surprised me with its storytelling, graphics, and dare I say it, formula that this franchise is known for. It's not Game of the Year, but does set a new bar for this iconic Ubisoft series. Developers at Ubisoft, or is it Ubisoft, returned to a tropical paradise with a fictional location called Yara, where people are driving cars from the 50s, and there's an ongoing embargo with the USA. It's not Cuba, because apparently Cuba does exist in this universe. But like Cuba, Yara is full of jungles, caves, farms, fields, mountains, and lots of ocean. Also for the first time ever, cities and towns, with multiple buildings, some even having skyscrapers. Wow. Unfortunately, Yara is a shit show, currently undergoing a societal upheaval through a violent revolution led by Danny Rojas to topple Anton Castillo, the brutal dictator of this wonderful island. As the go-to bad guy of Hollywood, Giancarlo Esposito lives up to the hype as the game's central antagonist. And he doesn't just show up in the beginning to set up the story. He is literally everywhere. You can feel him, even when you're skydiving. Diego, however, played by the dude that voiced this kid in Coco, is also surprisingly good for an unconfident kid. But that's pretty easy to play. Honestly, they could have just asked me to do it. I do want to give a special shout out to Nisa Gundes because she keeps up with Moff Gideon as a very captivating female Danny. Can't really say much about the guy Danny, but I heard he sings along to Havana as well. The rest of the cast is pretty cool, I guess, to drive the narrative, but I do think there are moments where Juan and Micho are pretty funny. And of course, the best companions in the game are the animals, because, oh my god, so cute. Oh my god, what are you doing? As you would expect with a Far Cry game, there's a lot of shooting, stealth missions, throat cutting, explosions,
3 weeks later,
running, driving,
2,000 years,
swimming, base capturing, base building.
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting.
Everything you can expect in a Ubisoft title.
But wait, are you sure you aren't just describing the previous 20 Far Cry games? How does this shake up the formula?
Well, dear child, that's the best part. It doesn't.
What?
It leans into it further than my scoliosis. And some people, of course, hate it. Well, some people are like me and were unexpectedly blown away at the fact that this formula is still pretty fun.
Formula time!
So what is the Far Cry formula? Well, it's the Assassin's Creed formula with a slightly less overwhelming open world full of collectibles. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things to collect and a lot of map to explore, but it's all anchored by Ubisoft's signature ingredients.
It's ordinary water, laced with nothing more than a few spoonfuls of LSD.
Just kidding, a charismatic central antagonist. Unfortunately, that always leaves you, yes you, the player, an underdeveloped afterthought. But that's where Far Cry 6 already deviates. Because you speak, and you can see yourself in 3D, and you're actually from Yara, you're not a fish out of water, making you heavily impacted by the shit that this guy has been doing. Something that's more controversial is the fact that there isn't any skill trees, because all the badass abilities that you could do from previous games are already unlocked. You just have to change clothes now. I think the emphasis on customization has really allowed this game to stand out. From Supremos to even your horses. Oh yes, there are horses now in this game. You can change literally everything. So it's not exactly like Far Cry 3, it's like Far Cry 3 with more historical weight, I guess. Oh, and did I mention how beautiful the graphics are? At least 25 out of the 50 hours spent in this game were used to watch the trees sway, the birds fly. There's an incredible amount of detail that Ubisoft put in this game, especially if you're able to run it in 4K, Ultra, Ray Tracing, all those buzzwords. Ubisoft deserves a pass because if this game didn't have Far Cry in the title, it wouldn't be so polarizing. And since Ubisoft created this formula, they can do just enough to not deviate from the solid foundation. Liking this game is no different between liking the latest Call of Duty or even Deathloop, which of course takes elements of multiple games. And I got a 10 out of 10 by IGN. So instead of copying other games, why not just copy your own and make it the best copy you've ever done?